How many people saw the video of the young woman and the husband who they snatched the kids from? Anybody seen this? Travesty, this bullshit, this despicable display of our police state interjecting itself into the family, into the black family. Anyone else see the trauma on this woman's face? The demasculation of her husband? The state stealing, kidnapping her child? Who saw this? Okay, so I'm gonna run the clip, guys. Get into this. This is Mercado, Syesha Mercado. She's a former contestant on American Idol. In fact, if she wasn't, we probably would have never heard about this story. That's how shit works. First of all, if she wasn't black, we probably wouldn't have heard about this story. And two, if she wasn't Syesha Mercado, we would have never heard about it. Here goes a clip.
Go down on your knees and pray real hard, Andy. We're sitting here, we're surrounded by sheriff deputies. We never landed.
You heard that, you know, so we're on beat, so I'm like a mile away, so says the GPS.
All right.
All right.
When case management came out the night before welfare check of the baby, they couldn't get in the house.
We didn't say that. We said contact our attorney. That's what we told him.
We don't have a contract. CPS got the report, okay?
Yeah.
So that's why we're now involved. Come the next day, we get a report saying that this baby.
I'm hiding information or something like that.
This baby. Yep. Hold on one second.
Go ahead. Within the way the law works, within 24 hours, there's going to be a hearing. So our attorney has all the necessary information to have her return.
So they keep our baby
for 24 hours.
Yeah.
It's a 24-hour window, and there's everything within them statutes we have complied to, even within the law. So if they literally keep her beyond the next 24 hours, all I'm saying is to the people, like, this is what's going on.
I understand that.
If we were criminals, I understand. If we were breaking laws, not abide by statutes, I get that. But it's something that we have to communicate, because it's like, it's our role as any parent. I'm more than likely you're a parent, and you protect your babies, and that's all we're doing.
I carried my baby for 9 months.
This is normal.
You don't care.
I don't have a problem with that. You can walk her. Yeah, she can walk her back. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, you want hers too.
What's going on?
Do you have children? Would you just... There's no point.
They're not listening. There's no point.
They don't. It's so wrong, Sarah. How could
You don't
guys
feel
do
nothing?
this? Do you not feel
Let's
anything?
put the baby in the
You guys,
chair.
I'm human. This is
I
my baby.
understand
My
that.
baby is days old. And you're taking my baby away from me. You're taking my baby away from me. You have no heart. This is so wrong.
Just give her a second. Can you give her a second?
Don't make it seem like I'm
it's
crazy,
not.
okay?
Yeah, this is normal.
I
This is
know you
innocent.
have children.
Sarah.
This is my baby.
You may not have babies, but
I carried my baby for 9
This is-
months.
this is normal.
You don't care.
Yes, I do. Put the police.
You don't care.
Which,
Would you like to put the
You
baby
could
in
have
the car
talked.
seat?
No, I don't. I want my baby.
We have to put the baby.
My baby is.
within 24 hours, and I hope everybody, does their job and implements their ethics and morals, because we ain't broke no laws. We have no, and this is this. What we supposed to do, a parent?
Yeah.
You serious?
This is the second child of Syesha Mercado that has been taken into custody by the state. What you just experienced there was a surprise roadside checkup conducted by the state. They forced her to give them breast milk on the side of the road as they took custody of her 10-day-old baby daughter. their other child, 1-year-old son Amin Ra, was placed in the system after Mercado's breast milk supply started to run dry and the boy would not accept other fluids. They took Amin Ra to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg on February 26 for help. While there, Pendergrass organization alleges that the little boy was examined by Dr. Sally Smith. Dr. Sally Smith. This lady, oh man, she is something else. She's under investigation, a controversial subject of a 2020 USA Today network investigation after she was accused of being too quick to diagnose child abuse. Her word is carte blanche in Florida. If she says you abused your child, even if other doctors and agencies disagree, for some reason the prosecutors go with her and they win the case. Almost 2 weeks after Amin Ra was admitted, CPS and armed Pinellas County police officers ordered Mercado and Diener, Tyrone Diener, which you saw in the video with Syesha, that's her fiance, out of the hospital. Allegations of trespassing and severe malnutrition. That's what they said. So let me get this right, guys. And let's bring you back up to speed here. So what they're saying is, two parents say, hey, the child's not eating. I don't know why. I'm not producing breast milk as I should adequately. My child is not eating. I'm coming to you for help. When you come to them for help, they say, oh, guess what? Your child isn't eating. You have been abusing your child. No, I bought the child because the child's not eating. I need your help to help me to nourish the child. And I'm not producing milk as I should, and my baby needs help. And your response is, hey, guess what we discovered? Your child's not eating. We need to take your child. Now, the reason why I say earlier, folks, that this story, you wouldn't have heard about it unless it was a black woman attached to it, because they like to use black pain in order to get clicks and views. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to do anything about it, but people like to use that. It's something about the wailing and the tears of a black woman that just inspire. It's like a car accident. You just got to rubberneck and watch it, you know? But this woman, Dr. Sally Smith, she'd been doing this for, I don't know how many years. She's an institution of taking children from their parents with the most flimsy reasoning. She does not even need really critical medical evidence. She could get a funny feeling. She got a funny feeling that something ain't going right in that house. And you, talking to people in her agency, may be under the impression that these people are trying to help you. But they're not. They're acting as an agent of law enforcement, of the police state, to take your child from you and put them in the system. Here goes some of the victims of Dr. Sally Smith. Who's this first one here? Here we go. Here we go. Kushners. Vadim and Elena Kushner celebrated their first birthday of their son William in July. Child abuse pediatrician Dr. Sally Smith accused them of egregiously abusing their son when he was 6 weeks old. Now, the child was born it was a difficult pregnancy, a traumatic birth is what they call it. The pediatrician reassured them their son had a traumatic birth and sensitive skin, but was otherwise healthy. During the birth process, there was a torrent of blood. His umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. His face blue. Bruises dotted his face and shoulders for 2 weeks. He cried every time he was touched. Then when William was 33 days old, Elena noticed him twitching. So she took him to the hospital to get checked out because that's what mommies do. And that's when this lady, Dr. Sally Smith, came to examine him. Elena and Vadim Kushner say Smith did not introduce herself or answer the couple's questions. Instead, she took photos of every part of Williams' body, including his genitals and a bruise on his hand from the IV. On her way out the door, she turned to them and said, "This is child abuse, and I'm going to prove it." What we have is a crusading weirdo who's dangerous as fuck, taking people's children. They're still fighting for their child. Finnegans. Ashley Finnegan and her fiance George Glushenko was accused of hitting their infant daughter so hard they dented her skull. Child abuse pediatrician Dr. Sally Smith said she didn't believe the Glenschos accidentally hit her with a cell phone. Just 3 years prior, an appeals court had reprimanded Smith for relying too heavily on her own subjective opinion of a parent's credibility. See, this is how this works. Dr. Sally Smith notices a bruise or a lesion or a contusion or something on your child that other hospitals may not notice at all. She then conjures in her mind the worst possible way that could have occurred. And the parent goes, "No, that's not what happened. No, maybe something else. I didn't do that. I would never do that." And the explanation that the parents gave, like in this particular incident, the child's injury was consistent with the parents' version of events, according to court records. But Smith testified the baby had no scalp swelling to indicate a fall, so I don't think he fell because he didn't have scalp swelling. She also claimed the father's story was inconsistent because he told other physicians he witnessed the accident, but told her he was in the kitchen. She concluded that the boy had been shaken. No evidence of shaking. Like something there can be a bruise or there could be an issue. Doesn't necessarily mean that the most heinous thing took place to create that issue. Baby could have fell. I don't know how you tell the difference between a shake, a fall, a stumble, a cartwheel, a tumble, without some type of track record to be able to look at these things. And look, and I know it's a very difficult, but I want to say it's very difficult. You know, you want to help the child, protect the child, but if you're destroying families in the process, if you're putting everyone in harm's way, if you're traumatizing children and parents, and do you realize you have to go get a court-appointed lawyer unless you have, like, I don't know, thousands of dollars to hire your own investigators to be able to look at the child, make their own recommendations? You get what I'm saying? Because this is the state. So the state has all the resources imaginable to wage against you. You don't get those resources. You have to go secure those resources on your own pocketbook. This young man, I think I have another example. Let's get to Rizalot. Here we go. Tyler Rizalot. He's pictured here with his wife, Kelly Jordan, and their kids in 2015 before his judge sends him to 10 years in prison for violating his probation. He was accused of child abuse by pediatrician Dr. Sally Smith for shaking and possibly hitting his girlfriend's child in 2012. Investigators pressed Rizalot. Could he have shaken the boy a little too hard, bumped him while playing, seen him fall off something? I've analyzed every situation in the last week now. This kid could have failed, bumped his head, slipped, told them. What I'm telling you is the absolute truth. There was no fall. There was no shake. And you are arguing against someone who the state has given all credibility to. And you are just a lowly parent who they give the side eye to, who they don't believe. Doesn't look good. There have been people who have committed suicide, parents who have committed suicide under allegations that cannot be proven. Cannot be proven. That you have a baby monitor or a camera there. So what I'm saying, the state has the power to come in and take your child with very little evidence. There could be 10 reasons or 10 ways, possible ways that something could have occurred. And if that pediatrician, child abuse pediatrician, decides it was the most heinous action, it was a deliberate action, it was abuse, what you say won't matter. How do you disprove a negative? How do you prove your child may have fallen if you didn't see him fall, if you don't have evidence, you don't have a video of them falling? It almost makes you want to live in your own surveillance state in order to protect yourself and protect your family. They take your child, put your child in foster home. One more time, Sally. This is what happens when the state hands all jurisdiction, all control over to one crusading individual with a born to rule tattoo on her back and a vengeance and a vendetta in her soul. All right, guys, so check this out. What we're going to do, we're gonna continue to follow this story. This is bullshit, okay? This is horrible. Syesha Mercado, Mr. Tyrann. They have a GoFundMe. They're raising money. They're going to fight this thing. They're going to fight it all the way. And they should fight it. I can't imagine this. This happens. And once again, folks, the reason why this popped through the radar is not because of the numerous white families that are being projected here. The same thing as, there's an article here at the USA Today called Bad Medicine, that investigation we talked about. But that viral video of Syesha and her fiance, roadside, that got 2 million views. And that was on Saturday. So hopefully it's still going. And hopefully people will get involved. And like I said earlier at the beginning of this show, guys, there's so many issues we could be patently passionate and vociferous about, and we have a right to be that way. And hell, how could you not be that way? And we should fight for those things and advocate for them strongly. And if you have a platform, do your damn thing. All right, I'm Tim Black on this, guys. Let me know what you think about this. And if you got any information, please send it to clientkira@timbblacktv.com. We will follow up on it.